morning. It's Sunday, May 10th, Mother's Day. So I want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day out there. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day, dear mothers. Happy Mother's Day to you. Mother's Day has been celebrated in the U.S. since 1908, and it's celebrated in another 40 countries around the world on various different days. It's not always in the first Sunday after the first Monday in May. They celebrate it in March in other countries. So other celebrations over the years, thousands of years actually, occurred in honor of the gods, like Rhea, the mother of the gods, or Cybele, who was a Greek mother of a cult. So there have been celebrations for motherhood, mothers and motherhood, but they were not related to everyday people until early in the 20th century in the United States. Now, this is going to be a tough Mother's Day. In Mexico, they closed all the markets. Mexico is one of the places where Mother's Day is on a fixed day. It happens to be today, May 10th. And they bring cakes and flowers, but all the markets were closed. The 42 public markets, so-called, were closed because they didn't want all these flowers taken. They didn't want people celebrating with hugs and kisses and everything like that. So there should not be any celebration as far as they're concerned on Mother's Day because they don't want to give the gift of the coronavirus to their mothers and end up killing their mothers. So we can't do anything. We can't bring them flowers. We can't hug them. In Mexico, we can't hug them, neither can they. So this is what I want you to do today. You could telephone your kids. You could Zoom your kids. You could text your kids. You could stand in the driveway or the front of your house and wave at your kids. But no hugging, no kissing. And we could say, this was one hell of a Mother's Day. None of my kids got sick because of me. Right? So maybe a neighborhood should have virtual celebrations, a big Zoom celebration or something like that. In any event, we're stuck with it. This is the situation we're in. We have to make the best of it. I hope you can all deal with it. I'm sure there'll be plenty of tears to go around. The virus has upset our world in many, many ways, and this is just another one. I don't want to call it a small inconvenience. For many of us, it's a major, major inconvenience. But we have to deal with it. So I wish you once again a happy and a healthy Mother's Day. Stay home, stay safe, make the best of it. Plan a big celebration when we're all set free. I want to talk a little bit about Katie Miller, Pence's press secretary, who was asymptomatic for the COVID-19 virus. Now, it turns out that Katie Miller is the wife of the top advisor to the president, Stephen Miller, who's the chief Nazi in charge of policy that relates to immigration. So now she's asymptomatic. She is the wife of Stephen Miller. Does that mean that Stephen Miller is going to disappear from the White House for a 2-week quarantine? Or is he going to be allowed to walk around, probably without a mask, in the entire building? I find it particularly disturbing if that would be to happen, because we have one set of rules for, let's call us ordinary people, and a different set of rules for those who are connected. Now, I don't want to get into the nepotism that exists in the White House with Jared Kushner and Ivanka, and they're allowed to exist because they are unpaid They are unpaid consultants, even though they make money off the mere fact that they're related to the president. But in this case, Katie is the wife of Stephen Miller. Both of them are being paid. One has definitely got the infection. The other one may or may not come down with it. So I'm thinking that he belongs in quarantine, working from home. And we'd like to see that. I would like to see that happen. Dr. Fauci and Dr. Redfield and Dr. Hahn, three major players from the CDC, put themselves in self-quarantine because they came in contact with either Katie Miller or the naval valet. And so they put themselves in self-quarantine. So I would expect that Stephen Miller do the same. I'm betting he doesn't, because in my opinion, the guy is arrogant. We've seen him in action. I don't have any respect for this guy at all. The very least he could do is self-quarantine himself and keep everybody around him safe. And of course, if he's a good guy, he should take care of his wife. But that doesn't mean hugging and kissing. That means doing what has to be done. So in any event, that's all I think I want to say about this thing. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.